أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. I welcome you all in our today's online session. Hope you all are fine and having good health. We start today's session with the verses of Holy Quran. So up till now, any one of you will have any kind of question, query, or difficulty regarding the session, please discuss. I will answer the kind of question and resolve your queries if you have in your mind. So we start today's session on the aspect of transmission HVDC line. We all know that when electricity is produced, generated from a power generator system, either it is the generating station of hydroelectric power plant, conventional thermal power plant, renewable energy resource, or nuclear power generation and steam power generation and tidal power generation and other kind of etc kind of power generated that produce electricity. When electricity is produced or being produced, it need to be transmitted in high power transmission line. So we need to step up the voltages in high voltages. So we need it a transformer. After transformer, we need to convert that particular voltage from lower voltage to higher voltage with the same scenario in voltage and vice versa to step down the current in its secondary side from primary, because in generating side the current is an enormous level of high level of kiloamperes, but we not transmit that particular amount of electricity in sense of current. We need to transmit the power in sense of voltage, high voltage, not in high current. So for the sake of this simplicity, we need to step down the current and step up the voltages. So that's the reason we need to transmit that particular energy level in high voltages, not high ampere. Why? Because the reason to transmit electricity in high ampere, not in high ampere, because with the proportional high ampere rating, we need a high gauge of wire. So for that particular purpose, we need to connect a large size or gauge of conductor to transmit electrical energy or electricity with a higher of gauge. So that's the reason we transmit the electrical power in high voltage, because high voltage is not proportional with the high gauge of current. In less gauge of cable, more voltages can be transmitted, but the sustainable amount of gauge should be there of wire of conductor cable to transmit electrical energy in sense of high voltage. But if we need to transmit that enormous amount of current, we need the higher double times of the normal rated comparison of the gauge of conductor. So that's the reason we need to transmit the electrical power in high voltage rating, not in high current rating. Up till now, any one of you, if have any kind of question, query, or difficulty, please feel free to discuss. I will answer the kind of question and resolve your queries if you have in your mind. So further, we moving towards the introduction and next aspect. Power generating plants are located at far away. Power generating plants like Hapco power plant, producers of electricity which produce electricity, and we know that Hapko power plant is installed in Balochistan, the province of Balochistan, and the power plant of Canab Unit 1 and Unit 2 installed in Karachi Hawke's Bay location. So Hawke's Bay is very far as per the existing area of utilization electricity in between the city. So electricity producer and electricity use utilizer, both the entities are far away with each other. So for traveling of electricity or transportation of electricity, we need a transmission line to transport that particular electricity. So that's the reason they are very far away from the load centers because of pollution, hazards, and location. When electricity produced in thermal power plant, nuclear power plant, and other kind of conventional, except hydropower plant, because without in hydropower plant there is no kind of fuel uh, normally produced in conventional type of thermal power plants. So in the location and where it is located, the power plant should be polluted hazardous areas out there. So we need to install that power generating units in far away from city. Depends upon the availability of hydropower sites. Therefore, the process of transmission of power generated at greater distances. So that's the reason they need to be installed at great and far away distances. And for the sake of their simplicity, we need to install the transportation of electricity at transmission line of wires of cable or conductors as well. So from a target loaded centers at the major factor that affects a cost of energy. So that's the reason that because of this transportation losses, conventionally the electricity of transportation and availability charges also be out there. So some kind of charges also taken out from the utility companies, which it is called the electricity duty, particularly the kind of these charges.